Allah's peace and blessings be upon you. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Dear brothers and sisters, in this video, we focus on one of the most dangerous forms of Taghut in Islam: rulers, governments, or systems that replace Allah's law with man-made laws. This is not just a political or social issue. It is a matter of aqidah, belief, and tawhid, striking at the very heart of the Muslim's testimony of faith. It is the most dangerous type of Taghut because, as Allah says, fitna is worse than killing. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:191. Ibn Kathir explains, Tafsir Ibn Kathir, Volume 1, page 222, that fitna here refers to kufr, disbelief, showing that the corruption of turning people away from Allah's law is worse than bloodshed, because it leads to spiritual ruin and eternal loss. Replacing Allah's law as Taghut. This type of Taghut occurs when rulers, governments, or parliaments knowingly abandon the Sharia and replace it with man-made constitutions, secular court systems, or colonial laws. This is a direct challenge to Allah's exclusive right to legislate and is unanimously regarded by scholars as major kufr. Important clarification. We must understand that ruling, hukmi, and legislation, tashri', are two separate acts in Islamic law. Ruling, hukm, refers to individual judgments or court decisions. A judge might sin or err, but this does not necessarily amount to major kufr unless tied to belief or rejection. Legislation, tashri', refers to replacing divine law with an entirely new system. This is where scholars classify the act as kufr akbar, major disbelief, because it transfers sovereignty from Allah to human lawmakers. Warning about ulama al-salatin and murji'ah. Deception. Unfortunately, some modern ulama al-salatin, court scholars, and historically the Murji'ah sect have tricked the people by playing with words and categories, misapplying the rulings of minor kufr, kufr duna kufr, which applies to sinful judgments, onto legislative kufr, tashri', which scholars clearly described as major disbelief. Blurring the lines between a ruler making an unjust ruling and a ruler replacing Allah's Sharia with secular laws, deceiving the public by claiming that as long as rulers pray or claim Islam, their open kufr in legislation does not count. This deception has allowed tyrants and regimes to cloak themselves in the name of Islam while ruling by man-made laws, something the early scholars forcefully condemned. Expanded scholarly quotes. Ibn Taymiyyah, Majmu' al-Fatawa, Volume 3, page 267. Whoever sets up for the people laws, besides the laws of Allah and His Messenger, has set up a Taghut that they are commanded to disbelieve in and reject. Ibn Kathir, Tafsir Ibn Kathir, Volume 2, pages 67 to 68. Whoever leaves the rule of Allah knowingly and replaces it has disbelieved in Allah and His book. Ibn al-Qayyim, Ilam al-Muwaqqi'in, Volume 1, page 50. The foundation of Tawhid is that no one legislates besides Allah. Whoever legislates without revelation has set himself up as a lord besides Allah. Ibn Jarir al-Tabari, Tafsir al-Tabari, Volume 3, page 21. Taghut is every rebellious one who oversteps the limits, whether a devil, an idol, or a tyrant ruler. Imam Qurtubi, Tafsir al-Qurtubi, Volume 6, page 190. This verse, Al-Ma'idah 5:44, refers to anyone who abandons Allah's ruling and chooses another. Such a person is a disbeliever. Imam Abu Bakr al-Jassas, Ahkam al-Quran, Volume 2, page 533. The ruling by other than what Allah revealed when done in rejection is clear kufr, and the evidence is the statement of Allah. And whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, they are the disbelievers. Al-Shawkani, Fath al-Qadir, Volume 2, page 52. Judging by other than Allah's law can be either major kufr or minor kufr, depending on the ruler's belief, whether he permits it or simply sins. Al-Alusi, Ruh al-Ma'ani, Volume 6, page 168. If the ruler believes man-made laws are better or permissible, it is kufr akbar. If he does it out of sin, while knowing Allah's law is true, it is kufr duna kufr. Sheikh Muhammad ibn Ibrahim al-Sheikh, Tahkim al-Qawanin. Judging by man-made laws that oppose the Sharia is major disbelief, even if the ruler claims Islam, because it rejects the rule of Allah and His Messenger. Sheikh Abdul Aziz ibn Baz. Whoever permits ruling by other than Allah's law or believes such laws are better or equal has committed major kufr and apostasy. Major kufr, explained. When rulers or governments believe man-made laws are better, more suitable, or more practical than Allah's laws, this is kufr akbar by consensus. When they replace divine rulings with secular constitutions, they make themselves false lords. Taghut. This is not merely a personal or political sin. It is a direct rejection of Allah's right to legislate, and a clear form of major disbelief. Why Muslims must reject this type of taghut? It is part of the Shahada, La ilaha illa Allah, to deny all false systems and affirm Allah's exclusive right to rule. Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah 2:257. Allah is the ally of those who believe. He brings them out from darkness into light. Rejecting this type of taghut does not mean random rebellion or chaos. It means rejecting it in our hearts, refusing to give it religious legitimacy, and working wisely to restore Allah's justice. Final reminder and call to action. Dear brothers and sisters, we must guard our tawhid and be alert to the tricks of modern court scholars and the old murji'a mindset, who play with words to cover up the kufr of rulers who abandon Allah's law. Let us educate ourselves, spread this truth, and stand firm in rejecting false justifications and misleading arguments. If you found this video beneficial, please like, share, and subscribe, so we can continue spreading authentic Islamic teachings and strengthen the Ummah's understanding. Jazakum Allahu khairan.